Oh, so we're live. Welcome back. We are the Financial Reboot Show, week after week, bringing you what's hot in the stock market and how the average investor like you can take advantage of simple plays in the stock market to make a very good return. That's the whole point, right? So week after week, the team here at Financial Reboot does these shows for you. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, we are on the podcast, we're all over the place, and we do this for you, and it's really kind of a nice value play for you. Now we are going to talk about some big things in this show. We're going to talk about specifically 2 ports inside our client list that we titled Ultra Aggressive, and they had really huge gains this week, which is really cool. Everyone got excited about that. So remember, as we have clients come in, you're out there watching these shows, you got to figure out what kind of investor are you. Are you an ultra aggressive investor on this side of the house? Are you a conservative investor? Are you somewhere in between? Because through these shows, we give you picks for, the aggressive investor, for the lighthearted, conservative investor. So we also had a report on Friday for the unemployment report and why that's important to you and what that means to you, because it's really important how this plays out in the coming week. So since this is a weekend report, you can take action on this news, on this report, starting Tuesday. Is the market open Monday with the...
No, sir.
So the market's not open Monday. Good news. So you got another day to digest. Now, we also, as you know, we're big into banks, as you've seen in the last couple episodes. And so we're going to talk about our current position on banks. So those of you that are following at home can pay attention to that. And where we stand with gold, because that's a big issue moving forward. People are always say, what about gold? What about gold? You're texting your stuff into us at show. If you text the word show to 760-254-0003, text the word show. Questions come right into us and we answer them live for you. And if not, we'll answer them right on our Facebook page. Now, look, some of you may follow us or have known me personally in the past, and you might not know, but I've trained entrepreneurs and business owners for I think just over 15 years now. I speak nationally and I talk to people how to really increase their income and build wealth. And what we'll do is we'll show that on screen, some of my past keynote speeches and whatnot. And, it's interesting. The more I train people, the more I see one common denominator. And I want you to imagine for a minute that you want to learn how to make money. And specifically, maybe you want to learn how to make money in the stock market. Well, what do you do? So here's what most people do. 90% of the people that I've ever coached and trained over the 15 plus years is they go buy a course online. And they think it's okay, we'll go buy this course, we'll buy this book. And what happens 95% of the time? You already know what happens. The book just sits there. It's going to be right on your bookshelf, just sitting there collecting dust. And the point of it is really you buy that book to make yourself feel good. Because, hey, I bought the book, that's the first step, cool. I've got it in my bookshelf, it looks really cool and sexy over there. If my friends come, they see that I'm this really smart guy or gal. And that's not the point. The point is, do what the 5 to 10% of people do. They take action. So in all my trainings and all my coaching of all these people all over the years, the most successful people take massive action. And I had this conversation with a potential client this past week. And he said he's been watching the shows, he's been following along, he's so excited, but he hasn't done anything. And so I asked him, I said, well, how do you expect to get a different result if you're not going to take a different action? And he sat there for a second, he's like, yeah, you're right. So our point is this. We give you picks every week. We show you what's hot, what's not, where the market's going, and we show you our clients' results. I mean, we're transparent. We show you this. But why aren't you taking action? I want you to take action. So the first thing I want you to do right now is text the word review. Text the word review to 760-254-0003. 760-254-0003. We got someone calling into the show right now. Text the word review, and you'll get a review with our team here to go over your exact situation and what's happening for you and how we can help you take your account from where it is to where you want it to be. That's the whole point. We got a great show ahead. In fact, stay tuned, because what we're also going to do in the show is we're going to actually show you how to make one of the most lucrative trades possible in your account for huge, showing you how we make multiple 3-digit returns in under a week. We're going to show you the exact process on how we do that. So stay tuned, and we will be right back to go into the first segment. Look, here at Financial Reboot, we are all about value. If we don't give you value, then we're not going to survive in the marketplace. So the point is this: you want to make money in the stock market. We want you to make money in the stock market. We don't get paid unless we make you money in the stock market. It's quite simple. So we realize the importance of value. We realize the importance of trust. We realize the value of being personal with each and every person in our client and consultation services. So you have a unique situation, and we want to give you that specific attention that you need. So listen, the thing to do right now is text the word review to the following text number: 760-254-0003, 760-254-0003. You'll see the number here below on the side. Get your review now. Let us dig into your account, see what's possible for you, and see what it takes to really learn to leverage the funds that you do have into something much bigger in the coming months and years in your portfolio. Till then, my name is Samuel Levitz with Financial Reboot. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, Financial Reboot Show. My name is Samuel Levitz, the president of Financial Reboot, and I've got a really cool segment for you today, because a lot of you call in and say, how do you guys do these multiple 3-digit returns, multiple 2-digit returns week after week? And sometimes we do it week after week. Sometimes it takes us a little bit longer, but the point is, how do we get these big returns that people only dream about in a year, and we do it in a week, 2 weeks, sometimes less than a month? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that too. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut to my screen so you can see exactly what we're doing. And we're going to, in one of our test accounts, not test accounts, what we call it, one of our case study accounts, I'm going to actually show you exactly what we do. Now, this strategy is called options trading. And this is where huge swings are made. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get caught and you're going to lose a lot of money. So if you're one of our clients, you already know that this is how you make lots of money inside the stock market. If you're not one of our clients, pay attention. Let's show you exactly how it works. And then, if you want to become a client, we can certainly talk about that. And if not, just follow our trades. And, I don't know if you know this, but we got a newsletter that you can actually follow. But let's do this. First and foremost, let's dive right into the software. We're going to do, the pick of this week is GLD. Now, it's a gold play, and we're going to be shorting gold. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, we're going to be shorting gold. I love my investment team here in the studio. keeps me honest. We're going to be shorting gold. So what we do is we put in the symbol GLD. So you'll get a message from us say, hey, short this stock GLD, and here's how to do it in the options. First I got to go to options here, right? Then I type in the symbol GLD. There it is, Spider Gold shares. Now it's asking for what date. So we're going to pick September 30th. That's what they call the strike date. And we're going to go to the strike price. We have a strike price of $123. So I'm going to select $123 right here. But now you see there's two columns. There's a call and a put. A call means we're expecting it to go up. Call means we're expecting it to go up. I gotta consult my smart guy for this. So a call means we're expecting it to go up by September 30th. A put means we're expecting it to go down, or we're shorting it. In this case, we are shorting gold. So we're going to select 123 strike price, and instead of call, we want to short it because we're expecting it to go down. So we're going to say GLD 9/30/2016, $123 strike price is a put. So we do that. The action is we want to buy to open. How many shares are we doing for this?
Let's do 50.
We're going to do 50 shares.
Contracts.
You're right, 50 contracts, thank you. And we're going to do a limit order. And we'll talk about contracts versus shares, because in options, we talk about contracts, not shares. And this is really cool. And this is why options you can leverage to make a lot of money if it goes your way, right? So we do 50 contracts, limit order. We're going to do 48 cents.
What's the quote?
The quote is, current bid is 63, ask is 65.
65.
Okay, we're going to change our limit to 65. And Estimated amount is $3,250.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Money
Review.
well spent.
Click on review order. This is exciting. I love when our investment teams gives us these things, and Pat and I always talk about how exciting this stuff is. And there we go. We just review it. GLD 9/30/2016, $123 strike price as a put. Buy to open 50 contracts. Limit price 65 cents. Day only. And boom, let's place that order. And boom, order received. Now, this one is trading with Charles Schwab. I love Charles Schwab because they're very simple. It's perfect for the average investor. Once your account gets to about $1 million, we have other suggestions on brokerage houses that you should use for that. But Charles Schwab is perfect for 90% of the investors out there. So there we go. We can check order status at this point and see how Schwab did for us. And as you can see here, they've already done a partial fill. So we bought 2 of the 50 contracts at 65 cents currently. So that's good news. And let's see if we can refresh this and let's see if they filled any more. Okay, so they haven't filled any more. We're still at 2 of the 50 contracts purchased at 65 cents. Remember, the reason we do, in fact, I'll get Pat to talk about this, but the reason we do options is because it's highly leveraged, okay? Like Pat was mentioning a second ago off camera, he was saying that there's a difference between shares and contracts. Now, I'll get Pat to kind of yell this off screen, but Pat, tell us the leverage points of option plays, meaning 50 contracts is really equal to what in the real world of shares, basically?
One contract is equal to 100 shares.
So one contract is equal to 100 shares. So if this price moves, a couple cents, right? We're in the money in a big, big way. Right? Am I right about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
what if it goes down?
If it goes down, same thing as it. Well, actually, yeah. If it goes down, because we're hoping it goes down, right? That's the whole point. We're in a put. Thank you for that. So we're in a put. So this is why you need an investment team that really understands the direction of the market, right? So we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna do one more refresh real quick, just to see. And we still haven't gotten the fill on that. There's 2 contracts. Let's see what the should we see what the quote is?
What's the quote?
Bid 65, ask 67.
Okay. Let's chase it. Change it to 67.
So we're going to change it.
Let's have some fun.
We're going to have some fun. This is what's called brass balls, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, ladies, but it's true. And you'll appreciate it as your account starts making you big money.
Girls can have them too.
Absolutely. So we changed the price to 67 cents. Review order. Boom. It's in. Now, let's see. Oh, I got to click on place order now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, order is placed. And let's just go to order status. We'll click on order status. Boom, done. Filled all 50 contracts. Actually, here's what's interesting. This is why I like Schwab for the average investor. And Pat, you're going to love this. It filled all 50 contracts at guess what price?
65.
65 cents.
Yay, Schwab.
Yay, Charles Schwab.
Happy Labor Day, Charles Schwab.
That's right. It's going to be a good weekend, long weekend. So look, I hope this was a good tutorial for you because this is how we make multiple double-digit returns in sometimes a few days. And this is how we make multiple triple-digit returns, as you'll see later in the show, week after week after week in many of our portfolios, in many of our client portfolios. It's simply because we know how to leverage option plays here within the stock market. And if you're not doing that, you need to learn how to do that. And actually, you should just become a client because this is what we do for our investors.
We'll teach you.
And we will teach you. Absolutely. That's the whole point. We'll show you exactly how they work and how you can leverage them to take your portfolio to the moon. Whoa. That's the whole point. So we are going to take a quick break and get back to the big segments here in the show because it's a huge show. So you can launch into the Labor Day week with a huge strategy to make you some really good money in the stock market. My name is Samuel Levitz. I'm going to bring Patrick back in the next segment in just a minute. We'll see you in 1 second. Welcome back, Samuel Levis Financial Reboot Show. I am here with our Chief Investment Strategist, Mr. Patrick Comer. Patrick, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Samuel.
We have some cool segments lined up for you this week, as we always do, man. This is what's cool, is we just give you guys an uber amount of value so you can go out there and do this on your own, feeling safe that, hey, we've got a cool team behind us. So look, we want to talk about two of our client portfolios that had big weeks this past week.
Yes, sir.
And specifically why they had big weeks and what this means to you and how you could play along at home. So go ahead, let's go ahead and start with that the small case study one.
Yeah, the smaller one started on Monday. It was 23,000. By the time we closed out yesterday, at the end of the close, it was up to 31,000.
Now, excuse me, yesterday meaning Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're actually
Excuse me.
releasing the show on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a weekend
excuse me.
update. So go ahead.
Sorry. And it's these two are very ultra aggressive. The risk tolerance for the owners are high, and they're looking for home runs. They're not looking for small gains. So we hunt. These big gains don't always appear, but when there's a certain amount of volatility in the market, like there was last week with all the news about the Fed and gold, and there was a lot of volatility, and we strike when the iron's hot, Samuel.
Yep.
And we found a couple good plays. We went deep in them, and they turned out right.
They turned out right. Let's talk about the other one that started at 362,000. What happened to that one?
Well, that one, same philosophy. The owner of the portfolio is a high-risk player. And the owner of that portfolio also wanted to take some big swings. We basically mirrored the same trades that we did in the smaller portfolio. And as I said, they all came through. Yes, sir.
Crush it right out of the park.
Boom. And we're actually still sitting on some trades there that'll probably mature next week.
And so, it's important to know that, as you guys come in as customers, say you want to be a client of ours and have our consulting service, let us help you with your portfolio. This one gentleman had a 35% gain in just under 1 week.
1 week.
The other portfolio that we talked about went from 362,000 to 381,000 in 1 week, which is a 6% gain. So,
Yep.
man, who wouldn't be happy with a 6% gain in a week?
You bet.
So, these are outstanding results. Obviously, these are our results. Your results may vary at home. We're not saying to invest your stuff on your own. This is why, our attorneys make us do that. But look, if you're a client, we take care of you. If you're not a client, play at your own risk, is my point.
Absolutely.
So listen, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We want to set up the next segment, which is going to be really, really cool.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to get into the actual gains and also the losses.
We had some losses.
Yeah, we had some losses. And we're going to show you, this is why we're so cool in my opinion, because we actually show you we're human.
Yeah.
And granted, there may be some losses on paper. None of them are actual taken losses. We call it that unrealized loss. But we show you how to leverage that. So let's fill up with this. I'm going to take a quick break, quick cut to the commercial, literally like 10 seconds. And I'm just going to fill this up off screen and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Financial Reboot Show, here with our Chief Investment Strategist, Mr. Patrick Comer. Patrick, we are going to talk about losses.
Yes, sir.
What so many people are afraid to do, we actually don't mind talking about because, look, never in your investment career will you have just gain after gain after gain after gain after gain. I promise you, it will never happen.
It's true.
What's cool about us is what I love about what we've built here at Financial Reboot is we show you the gains, we show you the losses, we show you the blood, sweat, and tears. Now, every week we do this. Things just keep moving in the upward direction. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sometimes 5 steps forward, 1 step back. The point is this, there's going to be some losses in some of the picks we have.
Absolutely.
Everything, and I mean every one of our picks is hedged. Okay, so let's start with the QHC.
In QHC, we talked about in the last show, that's Quorum Healthcare. That's the spin-off from a larger operation. And we're still planning on this being a good play. But, we have to be honest, and right now we're down about 9% on it. We might look to accumulate a few more shares if we get a little bit more of a pullback on it. But over the long term, we like the stock. So, we're going to keep an accumulative position, but we are down 9%. And like you said, Samuel, we use discipline and smart money management.
Yep.
So that, if you don't want to get a $3,000 gain here, $3,000 loss here, you're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
So these are down 9%, but the exposure on them is proper for the size of the portfolios.
Let's talk about TGD, the Timmins Gold play that we really like. We still like that.
We still love Timmins Gold. It's still a great little company, and we're because the gold had a little trouble in the middle of the week. It pulled back. It went under 50 cents. Most of our buys were 52 to 57 cents. On Wednesday, we did add a little bit more. Some of our clients added a little bit more under 50 cents. But we'll keep accumulating that.
Yeah.
Because it's not that we don't think the bull market in gold will continue. We just think it's at a little reprise right here. It's at an inflection point.
So Pat brought up a really good point, and I hope you pay attention to this. Pay attention. So sometimes when your portfolio is losing on a particular security, a stock, an option trade, whatever, sometimes it's a good idea, like what we do and the investment team does. If we still like a stock and it happens to be sliding, sometimes that's a really great opportunity to dollar cost average.
It's dollar cost averaging.
Right? Tell them what dollar cost averaging means.
Dollar cost averages, say you like on TGD, one of our clients originally bought in at 57 cents because it looked like it was going to break out right before that earnings report we talked about a few shows back. Didn't happen. Gold hit some pressure, so it pulled back a little bit. There's a lot of this rate hike talk and things like that. Just a lot of headwinds against gold. This client went ahead and bought some more at 47 cents. So now their cost is no longer 57 cents. Their average cost is probably about 53 cents. So that's dollar cost averaging. Buying opportunities are important. But we analyze each stock on an individual basis. We're not saying that if this stock got to a situation where we didn't like it, we wouldn't cut the loss.
That's right.
We would.
And so here's what's also important to listen to as you're listening to us talk about some of these unrealized, right? Unrealized, meaning we haven't sold any yet, so we haven't actually lost any money yet. But these are unrealized losses. And here's what's really important to understand. Is that sometimes it's a good opportunity to just keep hedging your bet. But the crucial point to this is that we never, if you're a client of ours, and this is something, if you're not a client, pay attention to this, that we never just play one play. And if it goes down, we're toast. Right? So we have things across the board. If this, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens. If we're betting on this, then we have a counter.
Absolutely.
So that's why we're always able to stair-step our accounts.
Just because a lot of our trades are predominantly short-term doesn't mean we don't diversify.
That's right. Let's go into Atos.
Atosa. That's our bio play, and that one's down 46%, but we still really like the company. We held it through the reverse split. It went down $1 a couple of days ago, but we still like it. This one we're going to cost average into, but we're waiting to see where it finds that nice little bottom. Of course, if it breaks down a little bit too much, we will cut the losses, but the exposures in the portfolios is not huge.
And so that's a good point. How will we stop the losses? How will we protect the account? In layman's terms,
we'll sell.
We'll either sell or we'll put a stop loss.
Or we'll put well, at some point, yeah. If we don't see it finding a bottom and it doesn't, things just keep going the way they are. We'll put a stop loss on it, and then at that point, if it does stop out, if it taps out, we'll take the loss. If it doesn't tap out, that means that we found the bottom, and we'll just ride it back up.
So these were our losses for the week. TGD down 19, QHC down 9, Atos down 46%. Remember, these are unrealized.
Yeah, these are unrealized
losses, which means
we haven't tapped out.
We haven't tapped out yet. We still like all of them.
We still like the stocks, absolutely.
Right? And so it's important to realize that in your account, in your investing career, what might happen is this might happen. You might have a couple that are starting to stagnate or slide down, but it's okay as long as you know what's going on, like our investment team knows.
And that's why we try to be strategic with our stop losses. We don't just buy a stock and put a stop loss on it because we don't want it to tap out early.
And so what I want to talk about in the next segment after we fill up, because it's getting hot here in the studio, what I want to do is we want to talk about the wins and how this is important to you because again, and not tooting our own horns here about our wins. We talk every week about our wins. We talk every week about the losses.
Yes, sir.
What's important and what I want you guys at home to follow along and pay attention to is that we have losses, but we have wins. Pay attention. We have losses, but we have wins. The wins far outmeasure the losses.
Absolutely.
This is why this is important to you. You got to understand the strategies that we utilize so you can apply those principles at home or become a client and start utilizing the strategy with us as well. So we're going to fill up on some beverage, cool down a bit, take a quick break in the studio, have a quick commercial. We will be right back in about 15 seconds. Welcome back. We just did a super depressing segment on losses, right? You guys are like, no, we thought you were superhuman. Look, we are superhuman, quite honestly. We just build losses in to make you realize that we're just like you. Yeah. The truth is this. Those were unrealized losses. Big distinction, right? Unrealized losses means we haven't sold them yet. So, I remember way back when we first were doing the portfolio case study.
Yes, sir.
And do you remember the guru that I was following? The problem was, like a lot of you out there probably, was that you just don't know when to sell. And that guru never told me when to sell. So I got over leveraged and I got panicked. I was like, this one's down and this one's down. Crap, what do I do?
In fact, he was telling you to buy more.
He was telling me to buy more. When I was like, well, I didn't have the money to buy more. It's like, dude, what do you want me to do? Where am I supposed to get the funds
You
for
didn't
this?
have the money for the margin calls.
Right. So I was getting margin call after margin call, which means Schwab would call me and be like, Mr. Levitz, your account is down $5,000. Could you please cut a check to us today? I was like, what?
Yeah.
So look, the point is this. As there are potential losses inside your accounts or our client accounts, we're cool with it, and tell them why we're cool with it, because we're leveraged and we've got things cooking for you guys, right?
Absolutely.
So the point is this: everything is measured. Everything we have stop losses on things. We keep Pat and the team keep an eye on everything to make sure if things are moving in that direction, that there's a floor that it can't go past, and we can leverage. Plus, we also at some point we should probably tell them about our percentages of how much cash in the portfolio versus.
Right.
We'll do that another time. We don't
that's
have time
another
to
show.
Let's talk about wins, man. Let's talk about wins. This is what we love. Let's talk about FHB to start.
FHB is First Hawaiian Bank. That's up about 6% right now, which is a very nice move for that bank. It's
6%, 6% in a week?
6% from the lifetime of the trade, which I believe it IPO'd, 3 weeks ago? 4
Okay,
weeks
so
ago.
6% about 3 weeks is really, really good, you guys. Pay attention.
And it actually pushed $27 today. We think it's a $40, $45 stock,
Yeah.
so we'll keep that for a while. And it's an IPO, so it hasn't announced dividends yet, but at some point it will.
Let's go into XLF.
XLF, the financial sector, we played some short-term options this week and we hit it big. I think we got about 290, 300% on those.
And that was XLF is...
Or 32%,
Right.
I'm sorry, excuse me, I was looking at the wrong line. But XLF, we played the financials because it's being lifted by this whole interest rate talk. The banks are going off. We'll talk about a huge win we had in the banks. But XLF is the financial, Spider financial ETF. And, we played a little short-term trade on that. And that one actually, too, we haven't cashed in yet because the options, we gave them a little room on the leash, give it a little longer leash, but we'll look to cash those in pretty soon. We still feel like there's a big move left in financials. In
right.
banks and financials.
So now remember, we talked about XLF, I believe, in our last show. And so here's what's really cool about our show, Patrick, and this is why we're getting such good feedback from all of you out there. Thank you so much. Is that because we tell you exactly what we're investing. I mean, I've never seen a show like this, quite honestly. Well, we tell you exactly what our trades are. We say, I believe last show we were like, we're into XLF. It's
all
trade.
These winners that we're talking about today were all spoken about on the last show.
Are you paying attention at home? In our intro segment, I was talking about, I've been training entrepreneurs and business owners for decades, like a long
doing
time.
a great job with it.
And but it gets tiring, and you know, I travel around the nation and sometimes internationally to train entrepreneurs and business owners specifically how to make money. And I'll tell you, the reason it gets tiring is because people say they want a change. People say they want something different. I mean, are your bookcases filled with how to make money and how to do this and how to get slim and how to have a great sex life and all these great things that you don't have? There's a disconnect there. And so I would see all these disconnects, and it was really, really frustrating. But I would notice a trend in the people that were successful. And the people that are successful, guess what? It's a simple common denominator, and it is that they take massive action.
Massive action.
When they get the information, boom, they're on it. They're taking massive action. So how does this apply to you? Last week, we talked about XLF, right? We were up 32% since the last show.
Yep.
Are you up 32%? Now, again, our attorneys can't say, won't allow us to say, go buy this, because that's not what we do, and we want to make sure everything's cool. But the point is that when we say we're buying something, you might want to play along at home, maybe paper trade or whatever, just to check us out. Or just even better, become a client. Text the word review. You know, we haven't done this yet in the show.
No, we haven't.
Text the word review to our
comes.
phone number right here on the screen, 760-254-0003. Text the word review. Get a review with us. Let us take a look. We could talk about what it takes to become a client and get your account going, going up. So you can have 32% returns, possibly, right? We're not saying you're going to, per our attorneys. We're just saying that if you keep doing the same stupid stuff you're doing, not growing. You know, I had a phone call last night with a potential client that's been watching the show. In fact, perfect lead-in. He's been watching the show for weeks, like a lot of our shows. And he's like, man, it's really exciting. I bought this course on how to do that. And I said, well, have you done anything? He said, well, no, not yet. I'm really kind of nervous. I'm like, okay, well, we've been giving you our picks since the onset of the show for months now. Have you been doing it at home? Have you been paper trading? He said, well, no, I haven't. And so this is a classic example. Guys, it's time to do something. If you keep doing the same thing you're doing, you're going to continue getting the same
Don't be your own
results.
worst enemy.
Man, it's the definition of insanity, and it's been said so many times, but it's so true. Take action. Become a client. Text the word review to 760-254-0003. Let us dig in. Let us help you become the successful investor that you want to be. We're here to help, right?
Yeah, and really it's just a free conversation, you know.
It's a free conversation. We could actually dig in, see what you're doing now, get your goals down, figure out what it is you want to do, and get you the quickest path to get there. Yeah. That's why we love doing these reviews, because it's so much fun seeing where people start out, see where they go. Like, remember the last segment, last week's show, we had the gentleman Greg on.
Greg.
And how he flew in to Honolulu to come see us because he was so thrilled with his account. But he didn't realize he left California. His account was here. By the time he landed, 5.5 hours later, he checked his phone. He's like, I'm up $9,000 today. So that's the point, is you got to take action. And what I would suggest is just become a client. Shameless plug. Yep. And that's okay. We're really good at what we do.
If you do nothing, nothing's going to happen.
Let's go in order. Let's talk about the BAC September options.
Yeah, let's talk about those BAC September options, because this is on the last show. We specifically talked about buying banks last week, and
yes,
as always, we don't say anything we're not willing to put our money behind. And we bought Bank of America options. We bought some September options. Yep. These we're still sitting on also too. They're already up 120%.
120%. Now remember, Pat doesn't get excited easily.
No.
Right? I'm the guy over here sweating me. Like, what did he just say? 120%? Guys, this is 120% return, unrealized, granted, because we're not willing to sell yet because we think it's going to go through the roof.
We like Bank of America.
No, we don't. We love Bank of
America.
America.
We do.
I'm the cheerleader because I'm like, dude, that's 120% in 1 week.
You bet.
So excuse me for interrupting, but I get excited about that stuff.
You should.
And you should get excited about it.
You know, it's very exciting, but and we also have the Bank of America January options that we recommended to viewers, everybody that would listen to us free. The January options, those are up almost 300% right now.
300. My calculator sometimes doesn't even go that high.
And the beauty of this is, Samuel, think about it. If next week, if we get more profit out of the September options, naturally the January options are going to go up. So maybe next week, You never know. The Septembers are 200%. The
we do every day.
Januaries are 300, 400, 500%.
Look, if you're not dancing on a weekly basis like I am over here, just shimmying my buns.
That's my job, to keep you dancing.
Yeah, keep me dancing, my brother, and our
the
clients,
viewers.
right, and the viewers. This is fun, you guys. I'm telling you, when you log into your account, and you get a little ping going, oh, we're up 20% this week. Wow! Let me tell you how exciting that could be. That is, when you finally take responsibility for your money, and you finally get it in good hands with a great team like we've got here. There is something, I think that one of our clients, Dana, remember Dana about a month or so ago?
Yes.
She was like, remember what she said? She said something like, I finally have the peace of mind that her financial thing was taken care of. And that was a big deal. That was a big deal for me, and I'm sure it's a big deal for many of you out there. Get your peace of mind taken care of when you can do things like, 32%, 120%, 290% in a matter of 1, 2, 3 weeks. This is legit. It's real. It's happening. Are you on the train? If not, text the word review, 760-254-0003. I'm excited. It's going to be a big
too.
week. We got a big week ahead too.
You bet. Next week we're looking forward to big things too.
Right, because we're coming into the Labor Day week.
Yeah, everybody enjoy the 3-day weekend. Rest up, because next week's going to be a good week also too. We had the unemployment report come out today, which was mediocre. So the September rate hike, the popular opinion is it's off the table. We never felt like there was a September rate hike. We think December is the time. And that's why we went with these bank options in January, because it'll just be a natural progression up the ladder towards that point. So, next week is going to be a big week too. Gold had a good day today, but we don't feel like it got enough of a move to push to a higher level. So.
And remember, pay attention next week, because we did something really cool on air that we've never done before.
Yeah.
We did a full Donnie Brasco type of, Wolf of Wall Street move with you guys by actually making a trade live on air with you during the market open Friday.
Absolutely.
And we're shorting
gold.
We're shorting GLD, gold, the gold play, right? That's our pick for the week, basically.
Which is very much against the grain right now.
Totally against the grain. So whenever saying buy gold, it's going to fly, which, my past guru said that, right? And we're watching that closely. We're shorting. Pay attention. We're shorting. So I think probably by next week, we'll have at least an update for you on how that's panning out. A little nervous about it because we've never done it on air, but at the same time, look, when you've got a track record with 32%, 120%, 290% in 1, 2, 3 weeks,
And the reason we didn't have a basket full of trades like we usually do today is because that big unemployment report, a lot of things happened today. We want to let it digest over the long weekend, and then we'll analyze it on Monday. But we do think gold, it didn't get enough of a move today to break through to any significant levels. So we think it's just, it might be a head fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to
try and capitalize on that. I'm sorry.
I want to say no sweat. I want to say a special thank you to you. Thank you for coming back down to the studio today.
You.
Having a fantastic weekend. You guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Be safe. I'm going to come back and wrap the show with some really cool stuff. And we're going to take a quick break. Give me about 15 seconds. Yeah. And we'll be right back right after this. Okay, welcome back, Samuel Levitz. That was a great show. I love the show. It's interesting to see how these shows kind of morph from week to week. Thank you again for everyone who called in, messaged in with your text messages, telling us about your current accounts. We love that. If we didn't answer them, we'll get it on the next show. You can always find us on our Facebook group, right? You'll see the link right here for the Facebook page. There's interaction there. This is where we post all of our shows. Also on YouTube, right? We'll put the link right here for the YouTube. So go ahead, if you're on Facebook, click that heart button. Show us that you love this information, because we're doing the show for you. And if you're not getting any benefit, then what are we doing? We're just kind of spinning our wheels. We're showing you how we've done 6%, 20%, 32%, 290% in 2-3 weeks. You should love this, because if you're following along, your bank account will love it. And that's the whole point, right? So we talked about some of the wins. We talked about specifically 2 of our client portals that just blew up last week because they were positioned correctly. We talked about some unrealized losses, unrealized gains, and the direction of those. Full transparency. That's what's cool about working with Financial Reboot. So get your review. That's the whole point. Remember in this episode we were talking about, my career over the past several years, that decade 2 plus, training entrepreneurs, people that want something in their lives. They want more money. They want to have a successful 7-figure business, whatever it might be, but they don't take action. And this is the crime against their own brain. And this is, some people sabotage their subconscious brain because it's really, it's a sad thing. The point is, don't let this happen to you. Take action. Do these things. If it's something you want to do it now. You've got this whole thing called the intuition, right? Men, you seem to want to use your brain too much. What feels right? What feels good? Does 32% gains in a week feel good to you? Good. Become a client. Stop thinking about it. Become a client. Ladies, you have intuition stronger than anyone else on the planet. Use it. Become a client, right? Instead of watching us week to week, get a piece of some of these wins. That's the whole point. We only have room for a certain number of concierge clients. We want you to be one of them. Now, we also have a newsletter that you can actually subscribe to. And we'll have, you could text the word newsletter. Text the word newsletter to 760-254-0003. Text the word newsletter, and you can find out all about our newsletter. It is exactly our picks that we give in the show, plus all the other ones throughout the week that we don't talk about. So you can subscribe to that if you so choose, and do it on your own, and figure your own success out. That's totally cool. We have a lot of success with our picks. We want you to be happy about it. Guys, gals, we love you. We love you. Thank you for constantly paying attention. Thank you for all the love inside the Facebook group and the likes that you give on the videos. Thank you also for subscribing to our channel at YouTube. We do this for you after all. We love it every week. And remember, we also placed a trade this week. We did the GLD short. Was that cool? Did you like that? How we kind of showed you on the computer exactly the steps, because the options trading can get kind of confusing. I get it. So we walked you through exactly what that looks like here, and I hope you got value out of that. But I actually made the trade in one of our own accounts here at Financial Reboot. Why did I do that? Because I want to show you that we put our money where our mouth is. We don't just say, we don't fake anybody out and say, hey, we do this when we don't. Everything we say we do. So we played that GLD option. We did a put, right? We did the put. And we're going to tune in next week to see exactly how that plays out. It might be a short-term play. It might be a longer-term play. We're going to see what gold does. But we're betting that gold is going to drop again this week. So let's see. We'll see. In the meantime, guys, we love you. Enjoy. Have a great, safe Labor Day weekend, please. Here in Hawaii, we're expecting 2 hurricanes. So hopefully we see you next week. I don't know. We got to batten down the hatches right this second because it's getting kind of ugly out there outside the studio. Guys, we'll see you next week. We love you. In the meantime, as always, we love to say here at Financial Reboot, make a difference. We'll see you next week.